Right, hello. I'm in the greenhouse, so I want to do a video on zones, growing zones, or hardiness zones. It's another late winter windy day. We are going to get gusts of, I don't know, 60 miles per hour later. It's already quite windy out there, so we'll tuck away in here. So nothing visually, I just want to talk really about let's say growing zones or hardiness zones. So no facts here, just my opinion. It just seems a bit blasé to say. I mean, for me, I always say, if someone say what growing zone you're in, for me I'll always say 8B, but obviously that doesn't tell the whole story. 8B for me, which I'm on the east coast of UK. If you're in America, say Texas, could be 8B, and yeah, it may technically be the same growing zone, but it's a world apart weather-wise. Obviously, in Texas, you're going to get stupid high temperatures in the summer, and in the winter you're going to have colds, but really cold temperatures. But again, it's not going to be maybe prolonged like it is in the UK. You may get a couple of days or a week event where you get really cold weather, and then you'll bounce back to, I don't know, 15-20 degrees. Whereas in the UK, winter can literally last 5 to 6 months in some cases, and throughout that period of say 5 months, you could have frosts, snow, heavy winds at any time. You always got that danger. So another example would say Cornwall in the UK. I'm not sure, I mean I haven't checked the map for hardiness zones, but I'm guessing they're going to say they're about 9B, 10A, because it is the mildest part of the UK. But you cannot compare that to, say, Florida, where that may be, stated as the same hardiness zone. I mean, I've been lucky enough to go to Florida, and that is a different world compared to what we used to in the UK. It is humid, very hot, and in the winter, the hardiness zones are based on, I don't know, it's an average or an absolute low temperature. And I would say, you can't say Cornwall, for argument's sake, zone at 10, and I don't know, mid-Florida maybe zone 10, I don't know. You just cannot compare the two. You're not going to grow plants you can grow in Florida in Cornwall. So the growing zone theory for me is flawed. I'd like to say I'd give average low temperatures, which I guess the growing zone is supposed to give you that impression, but you have a couple of really bad freezes and take that into account. Anyway, I'm mumbling a bit, but what I'm trying to get at is, when you buy a plant that says a hardiness zone or hardy to -5, let's argue, it may be hardy to zone 5 or -5, sorry, but the fact of the matter is that may only be like for a one-off couple of hours, and that would survive it. But if you had a week at that temperature, that would kill it. So you've got to think about duration of your cold weather rather than just look at a number. And it does vary throughout the UK. I mean, I could say where I am on the coast, we haven't had anything lower than -2.1, which, I don't know, if you added that up into a hardiness zone, it could be something stupid like zone 10, 10A, 10B, I don't know. But I know for a fact I couldn't grow stuff you know, let's take a Bismarck nobilis palm for instance. Beautiful palm, hardy to -3 degrees. If I put that in the garden in the ground, that'd be dead within a week. So it's not just about the absolute low a plant can take, it's about duration and obviously conditions, as in wet or dry. So again, in Texas, which could be classed as the same growing zone as where I am, 8B, or parts of Texas. I know Texas is a big place. You could probably get away with growing a Bismarck palm outside, and that would take, let's say, -3, maybe with a bit of damage, and I don't know, -5 might kill it off. But for a short period, that wouldn't be a problem in a dry environment. But in my environment, where we're looking at a long, wet, drawn out winter, plants just aren't going to like that. So in conclusion, don't just put a hardiness zone or a -5 degrees, -8 degrees on where you live, because that's not telling the whole story. The whole story is duration, precipitation. The difference between life or death could just be putting a shelter over a plant and keeping that a little bit dry and keeping the frosts off. And I'll give a good example of that with my arid bed. I've got a few plants in there, not that you can see through the window because it's a bit dirty, but I've got a Cape aloe, which is a nice agave looking aloe. Absolutely not hardy in this country, but I've grown one outside for 2 winters now, and the only difference is it's got a shelter on it so it don't get wet. So a lot of plants will take cooler conditions if they're kept dry. I hope this is making sense to everyone. Like I say, it's just thoughts and what I was thinking about as regards to, you know, again, just where you are in the UK, and a lot of people say, oh, I'm in zone this, that and the other. Well, that doesn't mean much other than, yeah, you might be a slightly milder area, or you might be up in Scotland, which is you know, the coldest conditions you're going to get in the UK. But at the end of the day, if you're up in Scotland and you've got a sensitive plant, you could wrap that or put a cover over it, and that would survive just as well as it would maybe unprotected in Cornwall. But again, if you're on the west coast of Scotland compared to the east coast of Scotland, that's going to make the world of difference. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there because I'm just talking dribble. I know the video itself has not been too interesting, as I've just been shouting out the rain really. But I just caught my eye. I've got a little Venus flytrap which has just started to come back into life. It did go dormant. So we'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching.